How do you actually start and stick to a routine? This is the question that I get seen asked over and over again in my comment section. I have some of you DMing me asking, how did I actually start a healthy habits routine and stick to it day in and day out? And as I started to see these questions come in and I started to think about my own journey over the last few years of really when I started to change my lifestyle and adapt more and more healthy habits and begin to stack more and more healthy habits into my daily routine, I really sat and thought with myself, how did I actually get started and what can I recommend to you? And I have the biggest piece of advice that I can give to you in this video that I think will absolutely change the way that you look at your daily routine, that you look at your daily habits, and that you decide how to incorporate more healthy habits into your life and what will actually help you stick to them. That's what we're going to be getting into in today's video. So I am taking you along what looks like a pretty regular day in my life. I did let myself sleep in a little bit on this day. I went to bed and woke up feeling a little bit under the weather, a little bit of a scratchy voice. So one thing that I've really been trying to do is also listen to my body when I am not feeling the best. And I knew that I needed a little bit of extra sleep. So I woke up at 7 a.m. and a big habit of mine that I have tried to incorporate over the last several years is staying hydrated, and that means putting a water bottle right by my bed so I can start drinking it before my feet even touch the floor. By 7:20 I am out of bed and I am starting my skincare routine. This is when I also like to open my blinds. That became a part of my morning routine, and it's a very little part of my routine that just brings me some joy. I love having the sunshine come in. I love being able to look at my view and just take a few extra seconds and be grateful for where I am today, where my journey has led me. Even these very small things that you might think this isn't propelling my day forward, this maybe necessarily isn't a healthy habit. If you can have these little things that just give us happiness along the way in our routines, I think that those are very important. I feed my dog, I do my journaling and also my affirmations all during my skincare routine. And I also like to use the app Insight Timer to do a meditation. That's where I get into what actually helped me start and stick to routines. So the biggest tip, the biggest piece of advice, and the biggest takeaway that I want you to get from watching this video and what I hope that you will try to do is to actually track your day, to track your habits, and to do this for at least a week. One thing that I was finding that I was doing in the mornings was I was tending to really rush my skincare routine. I was trying to get through each step as fast as I could because I had all these other things in my day and in my morning routine that I wanted to get to. So I was doing just one step after the other, and if you know me, I love skincare. I am your 2019 skincare influencer of the year, and there are so many skincare steps that you want to actually let those products sink into your skin for a while before you rush on to the next product. If you particularly have skincare products that you notice piling up on one another, oftentimes that can be a culprit, is that you haven't given that first product that you put on enough time to actually soak into your skin before you're just going on and adding more and more on top of each other. So once I started to track my days and I started to notice I'm trying to get all my skincare done within 10 minutes and then go on to these other steps, I was like, what is stopping me from taking my skincare routine and stretching it out a little bit more, and in between some of those steps doing something else that I would normally do in my morning routine? So now after I wash my face and add a serum, then I will go to my bed and I will do my journaling and I will do my affirmations and I will do my meditation, and then I will come in and I will add a moisturizer, and then I like to do some ice rolling, but my ice roller is in the freezer, so when I go out to the kitchen then I start to make my bone broth. Now I'm in the kitchen where my ice roller is. I can be doing my ice roller while I am also working on my breakfast. Then I can come back to finish off my skincare routine, but I've gotten other steps in my morning routine out of the way, all under kind of this umbrella of self-care in the morning. Once I'm finished with my skincare routine and I have a little something in my system is when I start to do my workout. Again, I like to focus on some more stretches. I do a little ab routine every single day, and then I move into my main workout. In today's video, I was using the Ab 28. It's really beneficial for cycle syncing, which I am trying to get into. So the app tells me that I am in my luteal phase right now, so I did a Pilates workout. Again, something that I noticed that was beneficial when I was actually tracking my days was I was someone that used to work out in the evenings, but for me, I am fully self-employed, and a lot of times my days just get super busy, and before I know it, you know, it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, I'm still at my desk working, and I'm like, I just do not feel like I can fit in my workout. I don't have time to get into the gym. I'm too tired. So when I started to notice that there was so many days that I was skipping my workouts because I just couldn't do them at night, I tried to switch that to now just incorporate my workout into my morning routine. I have a certain amount of time that I have. Usually 9 a.m. is when I'm trying to get into my office. So if I'm up at 6, 6:30, or even like today up at 7 o'clock, I still have 2 hours to get everything done that I want to get done. And that does include now getting my workout in. I do also like to try to get outside in the morning. That usually comes in the form of a walk. And I do have a dog. She's laying next to me and just let out a big sigh. She knew she was about to be mentioned. She was waiting for it. So I try to get outside because sunlight, especially in the morning, is super beneficial. Also, walking, moving the body is a great thing. And again, just starting, I have a personal goal for myself to get 10,000 steps every single day. If I can start in the morning and get a big chunk out of the way, that helps me as my day continues to progress and get busier. One thing that I think is really important with tracking your habits and tracking your day is to actually track everything. I think a lot of us have a pretty good idea of how our days go, right? We're here, we're doing the things, we're present in it, but even though you might think like, I wake up at this time, I'm at work at this time, I take a break at this time, I eat dinner at this time, I go to bed at this time. Yes, those are all great trackers to have throughout our day. But one of the biggest things when I was looking at how I could restructure my day and what I could be doing better, and I started to track everything, it was very eye-opening how much I am on my phone. But also just tracking my time really helped show me that an hour can pass with me. Yes, you know, perhaps I am posting on YouTube, or I'm answering comments, or I'm posting on Instagram, all things that I do have to do for my job. But then oftentimes I get caught up in scrolling. So when you decide that you are going to start tracking your days, make sure you are including everything. You want to get an actual outlook of what your day looks like, not just the big milestones, not just you ate at this time, you took a break at this time, you worked out at this time, you went to bed at this time. You want all the little filler pieces in between. And then I made my breakfast for the day, and I also spent a little bit of time organizing my kitchen. This is another thing that I've been trying to incorporate into my morning routine. And with the addition of me trying to eat breakfast more, it just kind of flows seamlessly into it. So while like on this particular day when I was making the banana and oatmeal breakfast with the chocolate chips, like while things are blending up in my blender, I'm emptying out my dishwasher while the actual food is cooking, instead of just running into my office so I can work. Like, I love my job so much. I love working and I love what I do. I could do it all of the time, but then other parts of my life start to fall away, and especially keeping my apartment organized and clean. That for me, when I'm in that breakfast mode and I have something cooking, I'm cleaning the dishwasher, I'm cleaning my kitchen countertop, I'm organizing it, I'm wiping it down, I'm cleaning my stove, something along those lines. For me, I do struggle with brain fog, but also I just get wrapped up in work, I get busy and I forget about things. So keeping myself in the kitchen is something that I found through habit tracking to be very beneficial. I'm also working on other healthy habits like staying organized and decluttering. So on this day, after eating breakfast and cleaning up the kitchen, I got into my office around 9:50, which again is a little bit behind. And then from there, I am planning my to-do list. And I did put down on my list from 10:15 to 10:30, I was on my phone and I was on social media. And then by 11 o'clock, I was able to get into the gym. After the gym, I had my lunch. And once again, after I'm done eating lunch, I spend a few extra minutes in the kitchen cleaning everything up. I used to be someone who would just let the dishes pile and I would think I will get to them at the end of the night. But what's something that I learned from habit tracking was that when I leave things to the end of the night, I'm often too tired, too exhausted, or it's simply too late at night and I'm trying to get to sleep. So I need to break down my lunch. Everything dealing with lunch gets happen right there. I'm putting leftovers away. I'm cleaning all of the dishes. Again, running the dishwasher, emptying the dishwasher, whatever it is that I need to do. That is all happening during my lunch block. I'm not letting myself get distracted and come into my home office. I'm not getting distracted by my phone. I'm getting everything done right there. Typically after lunch is when I do get on my phone. I consider this to be kind of my first break. This is something that I have incorporated fairly recently as well. I talk to a lot of people you know, I have a lot of friends. We like to stay in touch with each other. I have a lot of friends that live away from me, so we try to, you know, keep up with one another, keep up with my family. But I was finding myself when I was tracking my days, I was finding myself constantly being like, here's another 10 minutes on my phone answering text messages. Here's another 20-minute block of time because I was answering text messages. I thought, okay, this is not good, because then I just get distracted. Because even if I pick up my phone with good intentions of, I'm going to text my friend back, then I see an Instagram notification. I'm like, what's going on over there? And then I see a YouTube notification. I'm like, what's happening? And then I see a TikTok notification, and then I see a funny video that I'm like, wait, I should make that video. Then all of a sudden I'm making a TikTok video, and before I know it, an hour has passed when all I meant to do was respond to one email. But then I was doing other things. I was getting distracted, and I was pushing off what I should actually be doing. So creating these blocks of times for me to be on my phone, to answer my text messages, that has been something that's really beneficial. I am a host of a podcast. It is called Start Inspired. We have been on hiatus for 2 years since I moved. My first video on this channel, I explained how I moved from Iowa to Las Vegas. It'll be 2 years in April. And I am finally bringing back my podcast after moving. I have a podcast studio. So actually on this day, I went and recorded the first few episodes for the podcast, which is coming back. You can find it on Spotify and all those good places. So I'm really excited about that. So from about 1 to 2:30, I was in the podcast studio. My big chunk of the day from 3 to 6:30, I was filming videos for YouTube. I was taking photos to correspond with my YouTube videos, with my Instagram posts. And then we start to wind down the night. So around 6:30, this is when I started to make dinner. Once again, I was cleaning up the kitchen. And again, I found it easier to take my breaks after some of these meals. So this is when I'm once again catching up with text messages. I really try to leave those alone throughout my day. And especially when I'm filming, that is what I am trying to be concentrated on, not all these other outside distractions that I can get through my phone. And then from 8:30 to 9, being on my phone for social media. This is when I'm trying to be off of work. And then from 9 to 9:45, I was back in doing some video editing. I was making TikToks and just working on social media content, which led me up until 9:45, which is when I started my skincare routine. Around 10 is when I started to really get into my night routine. This is when I was doing my gratitude journaling. That's definitely a habit that I have liked to get into. I also do some reading. I'm reading the book In the Flow right now. So I like to do some reading before bed, because one thing that I'm also trying to do before sleep is to get rid of blue lights. And I even include that as my Kindle. I don't want to be reading off my Kindle. I want to be reading off an actual physical book. Nights I am drinking tea. I take some different supplements at night, like magnesium, to help me sleep. I turn on my humidifier. Again, those really small things that just kind of get you in the act of doing your routine. And then for me, it was lights out at 10:30. So that was kind of a typical day for me, and how I have these little blocks of time for a morning routine, for work, for personal time, taking a break, going back into work, having time to be able to work out, my meals, and then my night routine. Again, how do you start and stick to your routine? I don't think that you can actually start a routine or decide what habits that you want to change or incorporate until you actually know what your day looks like. And you don't need anything fancy to do it. These are just the blank, like what I did on this day, these are just the blank notepads that we have available on my store, which is by Samantha March. We do have planners in there as well. We have the 90-day planners, the daily gratitude journals, we have goal trackers. But something where you just want to see what it is that your day looked like, you can just grab a notebook and go from there. But I think that it's going to be really difficult to find a routine to stick to if you don't know what your routine looks like and you don't know what it is that you're trying to change. For me, you know, I didn't think that I had a problem with getting my workouts in, because I was like, I still work out pretty regularly, right? But when I actually started to track my days, I was like, wow, I missed a workout that day, and then that day, and then that day, because working out at night is just not working for me. Again, working out in the evening might work for a lot of people. I see gyms very busy at night, so it's clearly working for people. But a reminder that I posted on my By Samantha March Instagram today is that you need to find the healthy habits that work for you and then keep doing them. And it's going to look different for everybody. So me doing that change of doing my workouts in the morning, that helped me be a lot more consistent in getting them done on a really regular basis. Also not really realizing how much time I was spending on my phone and how much time I was spending truly procrastinating when I should be working. And I'm always someone that I have valued my work ethic. I am very disciplined when it comes to work. When you actually track your days and you see how many minutes that lead to hours that you are spending doing a little bit of nothing, that was definitely very eye-opening to me and showed me how I could change my schedule to give me these little blocks of time to be on my phone. And for me, a lot of times that means putting my phone in a different room. I just put it in a whole different room so I don't have the distraction. I don't see it light up. I don't see the notifications on my phone. That's what's really helpful to me. And then also on this same day, just on the other side of the notebook, I did also track what I ate. I even put, when I finished my first water, the full water bottle I have right here. This is on my Amazon storefront and I love it. It's 32 ounces. I finished the first one at 10 a.m. I finished my second water at 2:30 p.m., my third water at 5:30 p.m., and my fourth water before I went to bed at 10 p.m. So I was able to drink 4 of those in the day. Again, even thinking about your food habits or again, your health, your digestion, your gut health in general, you can't change anything until you actually know what it is that you are consuming and how it is that you are feeling afterwards. All of those are so very important to know. So for me, the first step to creating your routine and starting to incorporate more healthy habits is understanding what your days look like right now, understanding what your daily routines look like, and understanding what your daily habits can look like. Once you track that for about a week, then you can look and you can sit down and you can see what your red flags are. You can see where you have those good moments, you're giving yourself a thumbs up. You can see what you can start to change, what you can add, and what you can subtract. When I was thinking about this video, when I was seeing the comments come in, I'm thinking, okay, first thing that you have to do is to create this morning routine. And I'm like, no, you have to take it a step back, because even in the video where I talked about how I actually changed my life, nothing about that was the actual physical aspects that I was doing. It wasn't actually moving. It wasn't filing for divorce. It wasn't any of those things. It was what I was consuming. I believe that we live in a society where we want to do it right now. We want things to happen right now. We want the rewards right now. We know what to buy right now. We want to know what supplements to have right now. We want to know what food to incorporate right now. But a lot of times there is steps before we get to that we have to figure out. So when I sat down and I was thinking about this video and I was thinking about what I've been through the last few years, when I think about sticking to a routine, you got to figure out what it already is first. Track your days, track every single part of your day, track what you are consuming, track what you're doing, track how often you're on your phone, track how you're feeling throughout the day, the highs and the lows of the day. If you are someone with a cycle, it might even be interesting to add in there what day you're on in your cycle, because that can be something that will change throughout as well. You know, when I'm on my period, I definitely have less energy. When I'm like through the halfway point of my cycle, that's when I'm feeling it. That's when I'm crushing it at the gym. That's when I'm waking up feeling the most motivated. So that can definitely come into play too. That is my challenge to you, is to track your daily routines for at least a week. See what you find out, what you can incorporate, see what you can get rid of, see what you can change. But I think that this will be very eye-opening to you. My challenge to you, I hope you enjoyed seeing this video, and I really hope that you took something away from this. Track your weeks, let me know how it goes, leave it in the comments. You can always DM me on Instagram as well. I am by Samantha March, and I'd love to chat with you more if you need to. Or again, leave it in the comments and let's keep each other inspired. I'll see you in my next one.